Hello, welcome to Drink a Little Lead with Me, your music podcast dedicated to art songs. My name is Yite. Today I am hosting my friend Rocío Sánchez to play with me and talk about a couple of songs by Enrique Granados.
My name is Yite. I am a Taiwanese guitarist. I play classical guitar since I was 5. I moved to Paris when I was 18, where I started my musical studies. Now I'm based in Switzerland and doing currently a master's degree in Basel, with a minor specialization in lieder interpretation. Lied is a German word means song, and here more precisely we call it art song. A lied is usually based on German poem and written for a singing voice, accompanied by piano or an instrumental ensemble. This musical form was born in classical period, and it has flourished in the Romantic period and the 20th century. The equivalent of the lied in French will be mélodie française, in Spanish canción, and in Italian canzone, etc. Lied is something for me emotionally very accessible. I enjoy understanding the relations between text and harmonies, poem and music, and when all the textures come together. Especially the beauty of each language through this intimate dual form of a singing voice and one single instrument. So when I was planning for this episode 0, I thought of Rocío immediately. Last spring, we wanted to play some songs from the cycle Tonalidades together, so we arranged a lovely version for alto saxophone and classical guitar. I'm so happy to have Rocío with me today. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit? Like, where do you come from? Where do you live? Where do you study?
I come from Spain. I was born in Valencia. And I came to Switzerland to do a master in performance music. At the beginning, in classical saxophone in Lausanne. And then I moved to Bern to go further with the studies in the pedagogical field. And recently I'm done with this pedagogic master, and now I always live in Bern.
And we have a little story to tell about how we met. Actually, so Rocío is studying in Bern and myself living in Basel. we never met each other in music school surrounding or in real life. But Rocío contacted me one day during the Corona time because she visited my website.
And I find this really inspiring because for myself too, I was reflecting about how to present myself in a website and everything, about also how about my artistic projects, how to go further with it. And yeah, I found Yite's work and
You proposed me to improvise together.
Yeah.
Sometimes I was happy, but unfortunately for
during
the Corona time, it wasn't possible
in these months. But after that, you just write me to proposing me for some other pieces to play and to meet, just to see what could be.
And after this rehearsal,
and then
you propose to play
this
Granados tonalidades.
Kind of a lot of ideas together came to a pass to a way.
Yeah. And so why did you chose these 3 pieces from Granados for your recital?
So the thing is that, like in Granados, we find in his style a mix of his Spanish roots and of all the influence that he could know when he went to study to Paris. He met what was going on at the beginning of the 20th in Paris.
Like many musicians, composers, artists.
And then it came also all this romanticism from Schumann, Chopin, Grieg, and he did his own mix, like kind of resume of all these ideas. And it was also interesting because this recital for me came in at some point when I was also asking myself about my roots and about the kind of a resume of some moments, different moments in my life and different cultures that I've known and that also live together in Bern. And it was like kind of, okay, what can I bring in this recital that talks about my past, but also about what I am living here in this city and in this atmosphere. So it was like a gift when I discovered these songs.
Beautiful. Yeah. I remember you when we were making the program order, you were talking about these songs has a process of consciousness, like inside of yourself or inside ourselves. And can you talk a bit more about that? I remember you talking about Amor y odio, about the duality, the darkness and light.
Yeah, it was for me. This first piece, Amor y odio, is like a portrait of this duality and what happens when there's no dialogue between light and darkness, or when they don't dance together. So there is pain, and it's like how difficult it is not, and how difficult it can be not being with the whole self, just being like with the half of the self.
So the half of oneself is not present.
That's it.
Okay.
What happens when we are just in the darkness or just in the light?
And you find this idea in the song.
And I found that this is in this song, like this love that wants to be there, to be complete, to be recognized, and who wants to be together with the other part, but it won't be it won't be the case because it won't be. Yeah.
So you're from Spain, Spanish is your mother tongue, and I wonder how is it for you to sing internally in Spanish while you play?
So for me, it's like kind of a very touching and moving process, and it's kind of a like lawyer's process that came with different levels of lawyers, which means that at the beginning I wasn't like this awareness and the deep meaning of the poetry of the words and the emotions which are connected with the words and with these metaphors and images that come with the text weren't as easy as it could be there.
Okay.
So
even though it was your mother tongue languages?
Yeah. It was like, that's the interesting thing. At the beginning, it was like, okay, I just play the music. But at some point, when I started like kind of allowing to be touched, but this deeper meaning, it was like at the beginning, there was a lot of resistance, like kind of muscular resistance to it. And kind of I became aware of this fight or inner fight, and it became like, okay, accepting and just giving space to
let it happen,
to this meaning, that's it, and to how this meaning could be traduced in sound and just in energy. Just so it's like kind of allowing, taking space process, like inner space, in order to be able to just to express and to go into this energy that comes with this music and with this deep meaning that I found with it.
Yeah, for sure. This is Spanish is of course the first layer, and then the deeper, so of course with the mentalities, and then also with the we're talking about a lot of darkness, deepness, and these are all connected to Goya's painting, right? Granados is so much connected to Goya's painting.
But we can say
And Maja is really the muse in the whole tonalidades cycle,
which is there, and this kind of also like symbolic woman.
Yeah,
that it's also a Spanish woman, but a woman, like kind of the image of the woman in the humanity. Like it's kind of a symbolism that comes with all this reflection and all this path on this moment of the psychic womanhood.
Okay.
At some point that it's present in all of us. In men, in women, but it's like it's part of the human nature, I find.
Yeah, and it's like it's not just your understanding the meaning of the words or poetry itself, but feeling the meaning. Because I can imagine that you feel the text like with your whole body, and then You talk about when you think in Spanish, that there is a body functions, which changes or change, and would you like to talk more about that?
Yeah, it's about like levels of intensity.
Yeah,
of feeling like.
So it vibrates more in you.
Yeah, it touches things. It's a very special relationship. Okay. With all these roots and, like you say, with these memories, with this experience that we have, that we had related to these roots, that they're just individual, they're unique for each one, but somehow it's a special feeling.
Yes.
So physically, it was like, kind of a process of allowing things just to be there, little by little, to go from this close to the tension or the resistance, but just allowing to let it go, to let it be, and to express, to go outside, and just to communicate or creating bridges with the outside. It's kind of of the path that came with this pieces for me.
Great. what about, can you mention maybe your favorite sentence in one of the songs, like from the text?
It comes, it's from El Mirar de la Maja. And it's in the beginning, and it's ¿por qué es en mis ojos tan hondo el mirar? Que a fin de cortar desdenes y enojos los suelo entornar. Which means that because my eyes hold such an intense gaze, in order to avoid disdain and fighting, I tend to look away.
So the power is so strong that's because I remember in the end of this song, the Maja is talking to herself to my love, do not look at me anymore, because for your eyes are lightening and burning in desire, they give me death. So like her look, her gaze is really something powerful and dangerous. And what do you find in that, like a awakeness, a consciousness of a...
It's about, it's about maybe, it's a powerful meaning with counts and message. It's about holding the power, the inner power, from each one, from yourself, and it's just about learning how to hold this in order to being able to. It's an energy that can be used in a constructive, in a creative way, maybe. And for sure, it's also related with beliefs that we research in our childhood and things. But it can be, I mean, it's a huge theme, and we can go in so many directions with it. But however, with this phrase, it's like this moment of being aware, becoming aware.
Yes,
this is a power that I have with this gaze that can be like just being in front of the presence of a woman, or just from yourself in front of the mirror, or as in an inner
introspection.
Yeah, it can go in so many ways.
Yes.
So
I remember in one of our concerts in Zurich, one audience said that's because Granados translates this gazing ideas into very ostinato, repetitive guitar accompaniment. And for saxophone, for the singing part, there is a very long line keeping going on, very legato. I remember one audience said to us that he really could feel this gaze of the person with resistancy and an intensity of keeping watching in something with those long line and repeating notes.
This perseverance, I keep holding this energy or this contact that I want to create, that I want to maybe like take to me, or
Beautiful. And how is it for you to play with guitar for those songs?
So for me, it was very nice, because I wanted to play with classical guitar because I didn't do it before.
Okay.
I had already played with electric guitar and contemporary music, but not with classical guitar. But I also found these tonadillas, and I found a version, because originally they are written for voice and piano, and I found a very nice version for voice and guitar.
Oh yes,
it was
really.
But it.
That sounds right.
It was like, I want to do this.
Yes.
And things were in a fluid way to make it possible. And it's also very touching for me, because it also remembers coming back to this root question journey.
Okay.
To my childhood in Andalusia,
Wow.
this warm sound of guitar, with these songs in modern context, because it's also from classical music and everything, but it's kind of also reconciliation or like finding a new meaning for these memories.
Yes. Great. I'm very happy. And would you like to talk about your recent project? What are you exploring recently? And then what are you doing now? Do you have any further album projects, collaborations coming?
So now I recently was part of a project of a cultural village project.
Okay. Where is that?
With Costa Vecchia, and it's in Ticino, in the Italian part of Switzerland, and it's a mix of art, nature, all the stuff that are coming with nature, with all the things that are going on in the world, and immigration. And there are several activities which explore this. How can take together all these topics.
Right.
This is one thing that it's very touching for me, and which in this moment brings to me a lot of energy and satisfaction. I'm also going further with a duo Luna. It's a duo that I have created with a friend of mine who plays violin.
Nice.
We use our instruments, saxophone, violin, our voices, and it's also a reflection and invitation to reflect about womanhood, how is it, it does belong to our nature, and it's in a concert home, like kind of private concert format.
Yes.
And it is based on improvised music, so it's kind of how our child making a translation of our ideas about this womanhood and relation with nature into improvised music, and also playing with the space of each place, of each house or home that we meet.
Yes.
And otherwise, I recently started also a formation in Alexander technique. That it's also opening.
That's important for all musicians, I think.
It's really
okay.
It's like a key opening new possibilities
For the bodies.
With the mind, emotions, and body, and how all it is related, like together, and how can we consider this relation and this holistic relation in like a source of richness.
Yes.
To play music, to share with the public and with the other. It's I'm very happy with it and very grateful.
Thank you so much for sharing all your beautiful ideas, conception, and projects. I have the feeling that you are creating your artistical space with a lot of connections between nature, femininity, womanhood, in other words, and roots, energy, and then outputs them by music. I have this feeling that this is your approach for creating music. I find it's very interesting and beautiful approach. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to us today. Subscribe now to my channel if you enjoyed. The official episodes are now under construction. I would need particularly your precious feedback about this pilot episode 0. You can find the form below the description, and I look forward to read your comments. See you in the next Drink a Little Lead with me. Ciao!